So, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining. If you are joining now, or if you are watching this later, and a very warm welcome to every new person who has joined since the last live section I had with Intentional Favor. And shout out to you, Intentional Favor, for coming on the channel to share your knowledge on how you got your tier 2, which is now currently the sponsored job that you are on in the UK at the moment. And if you have not seen that video, guys, it is the latest video on the channel, and you can go and check that out, especially if you're a student in the United Kingdom and you're looking for how to switch from your tier 4 visa to tier 2 just before your tier 4 expires. That was how she was able to achieve, and she has shared all of that knowledge with us on the channel. The video is up on the channel. You can watch that after you've seen this, maybe. Okay, so this evening I just wanted to quickly do like a Q&A section of all the I've compiled all the questions I've gotten from my DMs, my personal um, Instagram page, and both my study abroad pages, and I just wanted to use this section to answer all of that question. And as you join in, if you have any question whatsoever, you can drop them in the comment section and I will definitely take them. But what today is about is what are the less costs or cost effective way to come into the UK. I know that if you're trying to come on the study route, if you've started the journey, you probably already understand how expensive it is to study in the UK. It doesn't matter whether you're coming for undergrad or postgraduate, it is extremely expensive. I feel like the UK probably has one of the highest paying, tuition in the world, because if you look at what people have to pay to study in Canada or even the US, it's a bit less costly. The UK is very expensive, and let's not even forget that exchange rate to Naira is out of the roof. And why I've brought this is because in recent times the Naira has just fallen flat against the pound. And I know that a lot of people who had been on this journey, who had started this journey earlier in the year, who had plans, who have, put together one or two, can literally say that whatever plans they've had in the past, especially as regard the financial implication of coming to the UK, has probably become a big deal now, and they need to now start looking for extra funds and the rest of that. But the good news I've brought this evening is that even if you still want to study and you cannot make it to the UK because your funds have now become short or whatever the reason is, just know that you can try out some other European countries. I've shared some of the countries you can go to for less tuition or lesser tuition or even no tuition at all. There's Germany, there is Finland, there's Turkey, there's Greece, there's Belgium. Belgium is just a few minutes away from the United Kingdom. Yeah, there are quite a number of those countries that either charge very minimal tuition fee or no tuition fee at all. I've shared a list of those countries. You can check them out one after the other. I will also recommend some people who I think are on the gram sharing information on how you can come study in any of these countries. I'll drop some of their handles in a separate post on my IG page after this section. But just know that if you have funds and your plan is to come study in the UK, and now because of exchange rate, things are becoming, tight and tough, you can actually consider any of those other country. As you come, I see some people already in here, and I just want to say hello for coming to join the section. Those who will watch later, I hope you also find this very helpful. If you have any questions, please don't forget to drop them in the comment section below, and I will definitely answer them. Like I said, and from the title of this live broadcast, you must already know that I'm trying to share some other routes that you can, take to come into the UK. So if you are hell bent on the UK, we know that Canada is almost like a no-go area now, just because processing time is out of the world. And also, if you are trying to come in with a dependent, it might be really difficult to, go with your family at once. But one thing we are certain of is that if you are still hell bent on the United Kingdom, um, and you have a bit of funds, you can consider coming in through the skilled workers route. I've said it before and I'll share it again that there are two quick ways for you to come into the UK. And if you see me looking at it, because I've jotted down some very important points I don't want to forget or miss in this live broadcast. There are two quick ways in which you can come into the UK. Either you come in through the study route, or you come as a skilled worker. Now, study route, of course, is what we are all very familiar with. Get an admission, get your CAS, apply, get your proof of funds sorted, and then you apply for visa. There's also the skilled worker route, where you get a job in the UK, and then that job sponsors your visa. So, for you to be in the UK as an immigrant, you either are being sponsored by a school or being sponsored by a job. So, an organization is sponsoring you. What I'm here to talk about is the skilled workers route of migrating to the UK. And honestly, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's not easy to get a job in the UK, especially when you're out of the country." Yes, I also agree with that. It is not easy getting a job when you are not in the country, but it is doable. People are doing it every day. People are doing it every day, and I can assure you that it just takes a bit of consistency and perseverance, and just not letting a no or 10 no's or even 20 no's get in your way of getting the eventual yes that then become the breakthrough for all of this. So yeah, if you have enough funds, or if you have funds that are now becoming too insufficient for your study plans, and you are considering other plans, then the skilled route is definitely for you. Now, how do you apply for a job in the UK? The first thing will be to look for a job in your field. So I need to establish that you need to understand the occupation shortage list of the United Kingdom. The list is on the website of the Home Office. I'm going to drop the link again after this section in the description box, so that you can see what the list looks like. On that list, every kind of job you can possibly come into the UK to do as a foreigner is listed. So there's something called the shortage list, which is that this number of jobs, or these jobs, can actually sponsor foreigners. We do not have enough people to fill up all these roles, and so we give organizations the license to be able to get people from outside the country. So yes, the shortage occupation list is the list that is almost like your guide for this route, the skilled workers route. So you need to establish that your job or your profession is on the shortage list, and when you've established that, what you then need to do is to begin to look for companies that can sponsor you. Now, you need to look for job openings that fits or suits you, and that are offered by companies that are able to sponsor your visa. There's so many of these, job offers, job sites where you can see that the LinkedIn is there, Indeed is there, Read is there. There's so many places where you can search for jobs. And once you have, a job that fits your profession or fits your career, you then go ahead to create a resume or your CV that fits the job role. I say that look at the job application or the job offer being posted, and pick out key points from the duties or the requirement that is expected of an applicant, and then incorporate those into your CV before you even begin to put in an application. And once you've put in applications, you have to be um, more than ready to put in applications to numerous places. Let me just tell you that even for people who are in the UK, I mean, people who are already in the UK, they are students or whatnot, or dependents of students, it is a lot of hard work to get a job. You have to put in a lot of applications to even be able to get an opportunity for an interview. And then when you get the interview, you have to prepare yourself very well and be sure that you can sell yourself to the interviewer, to the recruiter. So yes, you get the job. Make sure that your CV is outstanding. Make sure that you've picked out words from the requirements of the job you're trying to apply to, and incorporated them somehow into your CV, and apply to the right places. Don't just apply to random places. Make sure that the organizations you're applying to are organizations that are actually willing to sponsor your visa. One of the ways to know is to, of course, use the tier 2 sponsorship list as a guide. So there's a tier 2 sponsorship list that the Home Office has provided. This is a list that encompasses every organization in the UK that can sponsor you. But one thing I need to say is that there are some organizations on that list that, even though they have license, are not sponsoring. And there are some organizations that are not even on the list. So when you want to do your search, um, most likely you're going to use Google to search for jobs opening in your field that you're trying to get a job, of course. And then you can just filter it with sponsored jobs or tier 2 sponsorship jobs in this category. Just filter your search, and then when the job positions pop up, when you open any advertisement of a job, you need to make a call. I recommend that you make a call or send an email to the organization. Introduce yourself in the email, or when you call, introduce yourself to whoever picks on the other hand. Let them know that you're trying to get a job, and you've seen the application, rather you've seen the advert of the position and you're trying to make an application, but you just wanted to confirm if they are able to sponsor you as a foreigner. Let it be clear from the word go, because there's really no point wasting all that time and then at the end of the day you get the job and they're not able to sponsor your visa. So it is key that you're applying to a company that is licensed to sponsor your tier 2 visa, and it is also important that you verify from them that they are not just only licensed, that they are also actively recruiting at the moment. So let them know from the word go, so that you don't waste your time if they cannot sponsor you or if they are not licensed to. So yes, use this sponsored um, tier 2 sponsorship or licensed companies list to guide you. But even when you see openings that you want to apply for, I recommend that you make a call, place a call, or send an email to confirm that these people are actually able to sponsor your tier 2. I can guarantee that you will need to apply to a lot of places. I know people who have gotten jobs. I know people that are on my that are on my mentoring list that have gotten jobs from back in Nigeria, but they did apply to a lot of places. I also need to just take a moment to say that at the moment, one of the very, like, the hot cake at the moment is healthcare. The healthcare sector is like the hot cake. Everybody is looking to get a job in the healthcare, because that's one place where there's so many agencies, organizations looking to recruit foreigners. You don't necessarily need to stick to just applying to healthcare roles if that's not your cup of tea, but ensure that whatever you're trying to apply to is actually an occupation that is on the shortage list, so that you don't waste your time getting a job offer that is taking you nowhere. As long as you identify the company you're dealing with is licensed, and you've identified that they are also able to sponsor your visa, then you're good to go. All you need to do is to, like I say, be persistent, have a lot of patience, and just be consistent. So you have to consistently put in applications to diverse places, and with the help of God, you definitely get a slot for you. I don't think it will come easy. I don't think it will come cheap. It's almost like a difficult task to get a job from outside the UK. But I can assure you that a lot of people are getting jobs day in, day out. Nurses, carers, support workers. I know people that have gotten jobs, and HR personnel. I know somebody personally who got a job as an HR personnel and he got the job from back in Nigeria. I know someone personally who's gotten jobs as a data scientist. There's so many people, so many of these courses on the shortage list, but you don't have to necessarily, um, you know, you don't have to necessarily just waste your time applying to an occupation that is not on the shortage list. So I'm trying to open the occupation shortage list so that we can all see the courses that um, the professions that are covered under the occupation list. That's the shortage occupation list. So some of the professions that are in high demand in the UK at the moment are medical doctors, nurses, social workers, care workers, project managers, accountants, UI designers, UX designers, business analytics, teachers, people who teach secondary school teachers, operational managers, cyber security, data analytics, technical support engineers, digital marketers, graphic designers, software developers. If your occupation is in any of those that I've just listed, you stand a chance. But one thing I know for sure is that you need to put in a bit of effort. You need to be consistent. You need to apply to as many places as possible. Don't just apply to two and then because you get maybe like a refusal and then you give up. You have to be very consistent. And even people who are in the UK have to persistently be submitting applications here and there just to get a job. So that cuts across board, and it doesn't even really matter whether your occupation is, for example, operational manager or it's care assistant. Whatever it is, you need to put in those applications, a lot of it, and then once you have been able to secure yourself a job, then the visa process can start, which honestly is the smoothest of all. If, for example, you get a job as a project manager, of course, you still need to pay the IHS and you still need to pay your visa fee, do your tuberculosis test, get high LTS done if it is required. Most times it is required for visa. Your organization itself might not ask you for it, but I recommend you sit and take the high LTS because that really, really gives you an edge. And moreover, you need it for your visa application. Your dependent do not need to do all of those, so they just need to do their tuberculosis test and get their police clearance. And that's it. Once all the documents are ready, you are set to put in your application and you're good to go. Most companies will sponsor you from between 3 to 5 years. Whatever it is, once you've stayed in the country for 5 years, you're eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain, which is like the permanent residence that is popular with Canada. So that's just like the procedure. I'll just say that what's more important when you're trying to come through the skilled workers route is to be sure that your occupation is under the occupation shortage list. Apply to as many places as possible. Make sure that wherever you're applying to have license to sponsor your visa, ask them, send them emails, call them out, and just be sure that they're able to, they don't just only have license, they're also able to sponsor your visa and that they're actively sponsoring visa because those are like three different things. Some people could have license and not be sponsoring, some could be sponsoring and not have license, rather, some could be sponsoring and not be actively recruiting, and some could actually have license, be sponsoring, and also actively recruiting. That's the one you're looking out for. So as soon as you get a job, you're good to go. It's just a matter of putting up all your other documents. Like I said, IELTS is very compulsory for visa application. It might not be compulsory for getting the job itself because some organization can waive things for you when you have BSc, MSc, and the rest of that. But for visa application, it is compulsory, and I recommend that you take the test. Once you have all of your documents ready, you're almost at a 99.9% level of getting the visa because as long as the organization has issued you a COS, certificate of sponsorship, which is a valid document that states that you are being sponsored for a number of years and whether you are maintained for 1 month or not, your visa is almost guaranteed. And just that's just how the process works. So if you have some funds and maybe you don't have enough money to cover for your study, or if you just don't fancy the study route because again it's very expensive and all of that, this is another alternative for you. And at the moment, like I've said earlier, the ed sector is like the hot cake. That's where there are so many employers at the moment looking for foreigners. You can try your hands out, and a lot of these organizations actually do not need you to show any form of experience. They just want you to come and say that you have a bit of training, not necessarily experience. And if you're looking for a way to, get free training for basic, skills that you need to work on the support or care job, then you can check Alinsin, Florence. There's so many websites out there that offer free trainings that you can do and then have a certificate to yourself and also show your recruiter. That's all I had to say today. I can't see any more questions here, but one of the two questions I got was whether proof of funds is needed to be shown. Yes, you need to show proof of funds for 1 month, but if your organization has said in the statement of your certificate of sponsorship that they are covering your maintenance for 1 month, then definitely you do not, accommodation and maintenance, then definitely you do not need to show proof of funds. And this most times also covers your dependent. Um, so someone is saying how much visa or how long is the visa for? Usually it's between 3 to 5 years, depending on what your organization who is sponsoring you has offered you, what your contract is like. And your dependents can definitely come on this visa with you, and they are able to work unlimited hours also. Most times your contract is what determines how much hour you can work on your tier 2 visa, but average you're able to work at 7.5 hours every week. So it's still it's a full-time full-time job. um and whether you are able to study, yeah, I mean, you're able to study if you come in, maybe not on part-time, because as an international student you are still expected to study full-time. Maybe not part-time, but you're definitely able to come, switch your visa to tier 4 to study and switch back. Whatever you want to do, you're able to switch visas from one to another in the UK. What's more important is that whoever is sponsoring you part time, whether it's the school or it's the organization, must be clearly stated when you put in the application. So is that you have a CAS to apply for visa, which by the way is what the school issues you when they're sponsoring you for visa, or you have a COS, which is the document that is issued to you when you have a job in the UK. So, guys, that'll be all for me today, and I hope that when you come back to see this, whenever you come back, you learn one or two things from this. If there are any questions, you can drop them down below, and I'll definitely take them. If you want more information on the tier 2 route, especially the health and care sector, which I know is what is booming the most right now, you can definitely go on my page, Japa to UK. I've shared a lot of information about tier 2, the procedure, what you need to do, the occupation list, even the occupation shortage occupation list. The link to it is in my bio on my IG page. Just go and there, click on it, see all the information you need. You can also go to the Home Office website, gov.uk, and see everything that you need on this skilled route. And I hope that you find this video helpful. If you have any video requests, anything whatsoever you need me to clear out, you can send me a DM or just drop me a message in the comment section. When I see it, I'll definitely attend to you. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. I see two or three people also subscribing as I was on this podcast. Thank you so much for coming on board also. And if you've not subscribed and you've seen this video up to this point, please consider subscribing. Check out my other videos where I've shared other important and useful information that lets coming to study or live in the UK very, very easy. I hope to catch you again soon. And until then,